Every 17 minutes, a senior suffers a stroke in their bathroom. Most never see it coming. But what if the most private place in your home is quietly becoming the most dangerous? You visit this room 6 to 8 times daily, trusting it as your sanctuary. Yet for millions of seniors, it's become a silent battleground where innocent daily routines are rewiring blood vessels for disaster. Have you ever felt dizzy after using the bathroom, or rushed in the night only to feel your heart race? If so, you've experienced what doctors call warning shots. Your body desperately trying to tell you something before it's too late. Your independence, mobility, and even life itself are threatened not by illness, but by habits so common, so seemingly harmless, that your doctor probably never warned you about them. Right now, as you're reading this, millions of seniors are unknowingly performing 4 deadly bathroom habits that silently increase stroke risk by up to 300%. The scariest part? These dangers hide in plain sight, disguised as normal aging or minor inconveniences. In the next few minutes, we'll uncover these hidden threats and reveal what you can do today to prevent them. Because what happens in your bathroom doesn't stay in your bathroom when it comes to your brain. Picture yourself as a vibrant person in your 70s who's always prided yourself on independence. You manage your own finances, cook elaborate Sunday dinners, and maintain your home with fierce determination. You're someone who values your privacy and dignity, especially in your most personal moments. But what if I told you that last Wednesday morning, your normal bathroom routine could have nearly ended your life forever? As you sit there performing what seems like the most natural thing in the world, you might have no idea that your innocent daily bathroom habits have become a ticking time bomb. The 4 seemingly harmless routines you've followed for decades could be silently setting the stage for a massive stroke. Within minutes, your world could be turned upside down. This story isn't unique. Does this sound familiar? Every day, emergency rooms across America see seniors whose bathroom accidents could have been prevented. These aren't just statistics. They're mothers, fathers, grandparents whose lives change forever because no one taught them that their daily routines had become dangerous. Does this sound familiar? Notice this in yourself or someone you care about. Keep reading. The next habit may surprise you. The first silent danger hiding in your daily routine is what medical professionals call the dangerous strain. Eleanor's biggest enemy wasn't age or genetics. It was something far more common and seemingly innocent. Like 45% of seniors, Eleanor struggled with constipation. It had become her daily frustration, a battle she fought in silence behind closed doors. Starting with her morning routine, she'd sit there for 10, sometimes 20 minutes, bearing down with increasing force and desperation. "Come on," she'd whisper to herself, straining harder each time. What began as mild discomfort had evolved into a dangerous ritual she performed multiple times daily, never realizing she was literally playing Russian roulette with her brain. What Eleanor didn't understand was that she was performing something doctors call the Valsalva maneuver, forcefully exhaling while keeping her mouth and nose closed. Think of it like trying to pop your ears on an airplane, but much more intense and infinitely more dangerous. Every time she strained, she was essentially creating a pressure cooker inside her chest and head. The harder she pushed, the more deadly it became. Here's the terrifying science that will change how you think about bathroom straining forever. When you strain like Eleanor did, your blood pressure doesn't just rise slightly. It can skyrocket by 60 to 80 points in mere seconds. Imagine your normal blood pressure is 130 over 80. During intense straining, it can surge to 200 over 140 or higher. This massive spike forces your heart to work overtime while simultaneously reducing blood flow to your brain. It's like stepping on both the gas and brake of your car at the same time. But here's where it becomes specifically deadly for seniors. As we age, our blood vessels become less flexible, like old garden hoses that crack under sudden pressure. When Eleanor's blood pressure spiked during straining, those rigid vessels in her brain were being pushed beyond their breaking point. The force was literally tearing at the delicate networks that keep her brain functioning, creating microscopic damage that accumulates over time. The compounding factors make this even more dangerous. Poor toilet posture, feet dangling instead of properly supported, increases strain by 40%. Insufficient fiber intake, which affects 70% of seniors, makes bowel movements harder and more difficult. Dehydration, common among older adults who drink less to avoid frequent bathroom trips, makes stool harder and straining more necessary. It's a vicious cycle where each factor makes the others worse. One Tuesday morning, instead of the relief she sought, Eleanor felt a sharp dizziness that made her grip the bathroom wall to keep from falling. Her vision spotted, her heart raced, and a crushing headache exploded behind her eyes. The medical term for this is defecation syncope, and it sends thousands of seniors to emergency rooms every year. Many never make it there alive. The warning signs are unmistakable once you know what to look for. Dizziness after straining, seeing spots or stars, feeling lightheaded, experiencing sudden crushing headaches, feeling your heart racing, or tingling in your arms or face. These aren't just uncomfortable moments. They're your brain and heart crying out for help before something catastrophic happens. Studies from Johns Hopkins reveal that seniors who strain regularly during bowel movements are 300% more likely to experience cardiovascular events, including strokes and heart attacks. The bathroom literally becomes a danger zone where everyday bodily functions turn into life-threatening situations. Have you ever felt dizzy after straining in the bathroom? If so, you've experienced exactly what Eleanor did, a mini-stroke warning that most people completely ignore. The solution involves what Eleanor now calls her dignity restoration method. She keeps a small footstool by her toilet, elevating her knees above her hips to create the natural squatting position that makes elimination effortless. She added magnesium-rich foods to her diet, spinach, almonds, and dark chocolate, which naturally softens stool. Most importantly, she practices the toilet breathing technique, taking slow, deep breaths through her nose while gently leaning forward, never holding her breath or bearing down forcefully. Eleanor also discovered that drinking warm water with lemon first thing in the morning stimulates her digestive system naturally, reducing the need for straining entirely. She schedules bathroom time after meals when her body's natural reflexes are strongest, and she never rushes the process. "Patience saved my life," she says. "I'd rather spend an extra few minutes being safe than risk everything for convenience." But Eleanor's second deadly habit seemed like pure luxury, and it nearly killed her. The hot water trap that doctors call the silent cardiovascular crusher was Eleanor's secret indulgence. After decades of managing demanding library patrons and community events, those steamy, almost scalding showers were her sanctuary. She'd turn that handle as far right as it would go, creating a bathroom sauna that fogged every mirror and left her skin lobster red. The hotter, the better, she'd tell her concerned daughters, who worried about her reddened skin after each shower. What felt like heaven was actually pushing her body toward a medical emergency with every degree above safe limits. Here's what Eleanor never understood about hot water and senior bodies, and why this habit is exponentially more dangerous after 60. When you expose yourself to extreme heat, your blood vessels don't just relax, they dilate dramatically. Think of your circulatory system like a network of highways. Hot water forces these highways to suddenly expand to twice their normal width. While this sounds beneficial in theory, for seniors it creates a dangerous domino effect that can trigger strokes within minutes. When Eleanor stepped into her 115-degree shower, water hot enough to brew tea and cause second-degree burns, her blood vessels immediately began expanding. This process, called vasodilation, causes blood pressure to plummet rapidly. Imagine a garden hose suddenly expanding from half an inch to 2 inches wide. The water pressure drops dramatically, and the same thing happens in your body. But your brain desperately needs consistent blood pressure to function properly. For seniors, this creates a perfect storm of cardiovascular chaos. Our hearts are already working harder as we age, pumping blood through stiffer arteries. Sudden blood pressure drops, force the heart to frantically pump faster to maintain circulation to vital organs. Meanwhile, the brain, sitting at the top of your body like a demanding CEO, starts sending distress signals when it doesn't receive adequate blood flow. The enclosed bathroom environment makes this exponentially worse. Steam reduces oxygen levels while increasing humidity, making it harder for your lungs to extract oxygen from the air. Hot water draws blood to your skin's surface, reducing circulation to internal organs. The combination creates conditions that can overwhelm aging cardiovascular systems in minutes. Eleanor discovered this danger during what she now calls her wake-up call shower. 4 months ago, during her typical morning ritual, she was luxuriating in her near-scalding shower when suddenly the bathroom started spinning violently. Her knees buckled and she grabbed the shower safety bar just in time to prevent a devastating fall. The dizziness was so intense, she had to sit on the shower floor for 15 minutes, gasping and confused. Her skin was lobster red. Her heart was racing at 140 beats per minute, and she felt nauseous for hours afterward. What Eleanor experienced was a transient ischemic attack, a mini-stroke triggered by the dramatic blood pressure fluctuation from her hot shower. The scalding water had caused such severe vasodilation that her brain temporarily lost adequate blood supply. She was literally one heartbeat away from a full stroke that could have left her paralyzed, unable to speak, or worse. The medical research is startling and clear. Seniors who regularly take showers above 104 degrees Fahrenheit are 250% more likely to experience cardiovascular events. The combination of heat, steam, and enclosed spaces creates conditions that overwhelm aging cardiovascular systems. Emergency rooms report spikes in senior shower-related incidents, with many victims found unconscious on bathroom floors by family members who came to check on them. But here's the insidious part that makes this habit so dangerous. It feels so good that most seniors never connect their post-shower dizziness, fatigue, or headaches to the water temperature. The endorphin release from hot water creates a temporary high that masks the warning signs of cardiovascular distress. Eleanor's cardiologist was blunt. Your shower was a stroke waiting to happen. Every time you stepped into water that hot, you were playing with fire. The safe shower temperature for seniors should never exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit, warm enough to be comfortable and cleansing, but not so hot that it triggers dangerous vasodilation. Eleanor now uses a waterproof shower thermometer that displays the temperature in large, easy-to-read numbers. She's discovered that slightly cooler showers actually leave her feeling more energized and alert, with better circulation and healthier-looking skin. She also keeps shower sessions under 10 minutes and ensures adequate ventilation to prevent steam buildup. Her new routine includes gradual temperature adjustment, starting warm and only increasing slightly if needed. She installed a shower chair for added safety and keeps the bathroom door slightly open to maintain air circulation. Most importantly, she never showers when feeling lightheaded, dehydrated, or unwell. What's your ideal shower temperature? Are you like Eleanor was, addicted to scalding hot water that could be silently damaging your cardiovascular system? The next habit is even more common and potentially more deadly. Eleanor's third dangerous habit was something she'd done thousands of times without a second thought. The sudden stand-up from the toilet that doctors call orthostatic hypotension's perfect trigger. After sitting for several minutes dealing with her constipation struggles, she'd simply pop up and head to the sink, never imagining that this split-second movement was setting her up for a catastrophic fall that could end her independence forever. Like 35% of seniors over 70, Eleanor had developed orthostatic hypotension, a condition where blood pressure drops dangerously when changing positions too quickly. But unlike high blood pressure, which gets attention and monitoring, this silent condition often goes undiagnosed until it causes a serious injury. Here's the deadly science behind what Eleanor didn't know, and why this becomes exponentially more dangerous with each year after 60. When you sit for extended periods, especially on the toilet where your legs are bent and blood pools in your lower extremities due to gravity, your heart adjusts to this sitting position, pumping at a steady, comfortable rate. Your cardiovascular system essentially goes into sitting mode, conserving energy and maintaining adequate circulation for that position. But when you suddenly stand up, you're asking your cardiovascular system to instantly redirect blood flow upward to your brain, a journey of nearly 4 feet against gravity. Your aging heart needs precious seconds to adjust, increase pumping force, and redirect circulation. For seniors, this adjustment period can be fatally delayed, creating moments where your brain is essentially starved of oxygen-rich blood. Think of your circulatory system like an old elevator in a historic building. When Eleanor stood up quickly, she was essentially asking her aging heart to instantly pump blood against gravity to reach her brain. Her 74-year-old cardiovascular system simply couldn't keep up with her sudden movements, creating dangerous moments where her brain received inadequate blood flow. The compounding factors that Eleanor didn't realize made this exponentially more dangerous. She took 3 medications that affected her blood pressure: a diuretic that reduced blood volume, a beta blocker that slowed her heart rate, and blood pressure medication that relaxed her blood vessels. Each medication, while beneficial for their intended purposes, made sudden position changes more hazardous. Dehydration, chronic in many seniors who limit fluid intake to avoid frequent bathroom trips, makes blood thicker and harder to pump. Age-related changes in blood vessel elasticity mean they can't quickly constrict to maintain pressure when changing positions. The combination creates a perfect storm for dangerous blood pressure drops. The tragic incident that changed everything happened on a quiet Sunday morning in March. Eleanor had been sitting on the toilet for about 12 minutes, dealing with her ongoing constipation issues while reading a magazine. Frustrated and running late for church, she closed the magazine, stood up rapidly, and took 2 quick steps toward the bathroom sink. Without warning, the room went completely black. Eleanor crashed backward, her head striking the ceramic toilet tank with a sickening thud that her neighbor heard through the thin shared wall. When she regained consciousness 4 minutes later, she was lying in a pool of blood, confused, terrified, and unable to remember what had happened. The fall had opened a 5-inch gash on the back of her head, bruised her tailbone severely, and sprained her wrist when she tried to break her fall. But the real damage was internal and invisible. The sudden blood pressure drop had temporarily cut off circulation to her brain, causing what medical professionals call a pre-syncope episode that easily could have triggered a full stroke. Emergency room doctors explained that Eleanor's blood pressure had plummeted from 140/85 while sitting to 75/45 within seconds of standing, a drop severe enough to cause immediate unconsciousness and potentially fatal complications. This dramatic fluctuation puts enormous stress on the brain's delicate blood vessels, often causing them to rupture or become blocked. Eleanor was incredibly fortunate that her fall didn't result in a stroke, brain hemorrhage, or broken hip that could have ended her independence forever. Research from the Mayo Clinic shows that orthostatic hypertension affects up to 30% of seniors over 70, yet most are completely unaware they have this condition until they experience a serious fall. The bathroom environment makes this exponentially more dangerous than other locations. Hard ceramic surfaces, confined spaces, and the privacy that delays help when accidents occur create a perfect storm for devastating injuries. The solution Eleanor now follows religiously is what her doctor calls the 3-stage safety method, a simple protocol that has eliminated her dizzy spells entirely. First, she sits still for a full 60 seconds after finishing, allowing her circulation to stabilize and her body to prepare for movement. During this time, she takes deep breaths and gently moves her feet and ankles to encourage blood flow. Second, she slowly moves to the edge of the toilet seat and pauses for another 30 seconds, letting her body begin adjusting to the position change. She holds onto the grab bars she installed and performs gentle leg movements to activate her muscle pumps that help push blood back to her heart. Finally, she stands up gradually while maintaining her grip on the grab bar, taking a full 15 seconds to reach her complete upright position. This gives her cardiovascular system ample time to properly redirect blood flow and adjust to the new position. She pauses again for 15 seconds before taking her first steps, ensuring her balance and circulation are stable. Eleanor has installed sturdy grab bars at strategic locations, next to the toilet, in the shower, and near the sink. She approaches every position change with patience and respect for her body's limitations. I used to think I could still move like I was 30, she reflects. Now I move like the 74-year-old I am, and it's kept me safe and independent. Since implementing these changes, Eleanor hasn't experienced a single episode of dizziness or lightheadedness in the bathroom. Her confidence has returned, and she no longer fears those necessary trips that once felt like walking through a minefield. But the next habit is what her cardiologist called the silent killer, a seemingly innocent routine that's responsible for more senior strokes than the other three habits combined. Eleanor's fourth and most dangerous habit happened in the darkness of night, the unprepared midnight bathroom rush that transforms ordinary seniors into stroke statistics. Like 85% of seniors, Eleanor woke up 2 to 4 times nightly with urgent bathroom needs, a condition called nocturia that affects nearly every older adult but is rarely discussed openly. Half asleep and desperate for relief, she'd stumble through the dark hallway, never realizing that these seemingly innocent nighttime trips were creating the perfect conditions for a devastating stroke. The combination of factors that converge during nighttime bathroom visits creates what emergency room doctors call the witching hours, the period between midnight and 6 a.m. when senior strokes spike dramatically. Here's why nighttime bathroom visits are so uniquely deadly for seniors, and why this habit alone is responsible for more emergency room visits than the other three combined. During sleep, your body naturally becomes severely dehydrated as you lose fluids through breathing, sweating, and the natural filtration processes that continue while you rest. Over 6 to 8 hours, you can lose 1 to 2 pounds of water weight, making your blood thicker and harder to pump. Simultaneously, many senior medications reach peak concentration in your bloodstream during nighttime hours. Blood pressure medications, diuretics that remove fluid from your system, and sleep aids that slow reflexes create a toxic combination where your blood becomes thick while your blood pressure fluctuates wildly. This turns every midnight bathroom trip into a potential medical emergency. Eleanor's wake-up routine was textbook dangerous, a perfect example of how innocent habits become deadly without proper awareness. At 2:30 a.m., her bladder would demand immediate attention. Still groggy from sleep and eager to return to bed quickly, she'd leap up from her mattress and hurry down the hallway in complete darkness, guided only by memory and desperation. Her body, transitioning from horizontal to vertical while severely dehydrated, would experience massive blood pressure swings that put enormous strain on her brain's delicate blood vessels. The medications she took for blood pressure control and sleep made these fluctuations even more dangerous, creating conditions where stroke risk increased by over 400% compared to daytime bathroom visits. The compounding factors were invisible but lethal, creating a perfect storm that Eleanor never saw coming. She took 4 medications that affected her cardiovascular system: a blood pressure medication that peaked at 3 a.m., a diuretic that had been draining fluids from her system for hours, a mild sleep aid that slowed her reflexes and dulled her awareness of warning signs, and a statin that, while protective in many ways, could cause muscle weakness that affected her balance. When Eleanor stood up quickly in her severely dehydrated state, her blood pressure would spike dramatically as her heart struggled to pump thickened blood through constricted vessels. The darkness meant she couldn't see warning signs like vision changes, and her grogginess prevented her from recognizing symptoms that would be obvious during the day. The near-fatal incident that changed everything occurred on a Tuesday night in February during a particularly cold snap. Eleanor woke at 2:47 a.m. with her usual urgent need, made more pressing by the extra tea she'd consumed to ward off the winter chill. Without thinking, she threw off her covers and stood up rapidly, immediately feeling dizzy, but attributing it to normal grogginess that everyone experiences. As she reached the bathroom doorway, a crushing headache suddenly exploded behind her eyes with an intensity she'd never experienced. The pain was so severe she doubled over, gripping the doorframe as her vision became spotty and her left arm began tingling ominously. Her heart rate skyrocketed to over 150 beats per minute, and she felt nauseous and disoriented. What Eleanor was experiencing was a hypertensive crisis. Her blood pressure had spiked to 220/125, putting her in immediate stroke territory. The combination of severe dehydration, medication effects, and sudden position changes had created a perfect storm inside her cardiovascular system. Her brain was being squeezed by dangerous pressure while simultaneously being starved of properly oxygenated blood. Fortunately, Eleanor recognized that something was seriously wrong. Instead of pushing through to the bathroom, as she might have done in the past, she slowly lowered herself to the floor and called 911 from her cell phone. Paramedics arrived within 12 minutes to find her blood pressure still dangerously elevated at 195/118. They administered emergency medication and rushed her to the hospital, where doctors confirmed she'd been minutes away from a major stroke. Hospital tests revealed that Eleanor's nighttime dehydration was so severe, her blood had become syrupy thick, while her medications had created dramatic blood pressure fluctuations throughout the night. Dr. Chip Rodriguez, her cardiologist, explained that seniors who make unprepared nighttime bathroom trips are 400% more likely to experience strokes between midnight and 6 a.m., the period medical professionals call the danger hours. The solution requires preparation that most seniors never consider, but it's surprisingly simple and effective. Eleanor now keeps a large water bottle beside her bed and drinks 6 to 8 ounces before any nighttime bathroom trip, helping to thin her blood and stabilize her circulation. This pre-hydration strategy has been game-changing for her nighttime safety. She installed motion-activated night lights that illuminate her path without requiring full wakefulness or fumbling for light switches. These provide enough light to navigate safely while preserving her night vision and sleep hormones. She follows a mandatory 3-minute preparation routine before getting out of bed, a small investment of time that could save her life. Eleanor's new nighttime protocol includes sitting on the edge of her bed for 90 seconds to let her blood pressure adjust gradually, drinking water to counteract dehydration, and moving slowly with deliberate pauses. She keeps slippers with non-slip soles beside her bed and ensures her path is clear of obstacles during her evening routine. Most importantly, she worked with her doctor to adjust her medication timing, spacing out doses to minimize the overnight concentration peaks that were creating dangerous blood pressure swings. Her blood pressure medication is now taken at dinner time instead of bedtime, and her diuretic is taken in the early afternoon to minimize nighttime effects. Since implementing these changes, Eleanor's nighttime blood pressure readings have stabilized dramatically. Her sleep quality has improved because she no longer fears those necessary bathroom trips, and she hasn't experienced any dizziness or headaches during her nighttime routines. Medical research confirms that proper hydration and gradual position changes can reduce nighttime stroke risk by up to 75% in seniors. Do you prepare for nighttime bathroom visits, or do you rush through the darkness like Eleanor used to? Notice this in yourself or someone you care about. Your habits might reveal whether you're unknowingly putting yourself at risk during those vulnerable midnight hours. But here's where Eleanor's story takes a remarkable turn. 3 months after her terrifying wake-up call, her life has completely transformed in ways that continue to amaze her medical team. Her new bathroom routine isn't just safer, it's become a source of confidence and control she never expected to have in her 70s. Gone are the days of dangerous straining that left her dizzy and exhausted. Eleanor's fiber-rich diet and proper hydration have made bowel movements effortless and natural. Her warm showers energize rather than drain her, and her gradual movements have eliminated all episodes of dizziness or lightheadedness. Her nighttime preparation routine has become second nature, and she sleeps better knowing she's protected herself from those dangerous midnight rushes. The real proof came at her 3-month follow-up appointment. Dr. Rodriguez couldn't hide his amazement as he reviewed Eleanor's blood pressure logs and health metrics. In 35 years of practice, I've never seen such dramatic improvement in bathroom safety awareness, he told her, shaking his head in wonder. Her readings had stabilized at a healthy 128/78, numbers she hadn't seen in over a decade. But the transformation goes far beyond numbers on a medical chart. Eleanor's energy levels have soared. Her confidence in her own body has returned, and her fear of bathroom-related accidents has vanished completely. She's regained the independence and self-assurance that briefly slipped away during those dangerous months when every bathroom visit felt like a potential emergency. Her family notices the dramatic change, too. Her daughter remarks that Eleanor moves with purpose and awareness now. No longer the hurried, stressed woman who once rushed through basic routines without thinking about the consequences. Her grandchildren comment that Grandma Eleanor seems stronger and happier, and they're absolutely right. Eleanor wants every senior reading this to know, you don't have to wait for a wake-up call like I did. These simple changes gave me my life back, and they can save yours too. She's become an advocate for bathroom safety awareness, sharing her story with senior groups and encouraging others to examine their own potentially dangerous habits. Comment the number below if this resonates with your own experience or concerns. Share this with every senior in your life, your parents, grandparents, neighbors, or friends. You could literally be saving someone's life by spreading this crucial awareness. The medical research Eleanor discovered during her recovery journey revealed shocking statistics that every senior should know. Seniors with orthostatic hypertension are twice as likely to suffer cognitive decline, as the repeated episodes of reduced blood flow to the brain cause cumulative damage over time. Shower-related incidents cause over 235,000 emergency visits yearly among older adults in the United States alone, with many resulting in serious injuries or death. Perhaps most alarming, dehydrated blood, common between 2 and 4 a.m. when most seniors make bathroom trips, becomes 15 to 20% thicker than properly hydrated blood, dramatically increasing clot formation and stroke risk. These aren't just statistics. They represent preventable tragedies that could be avoided with simple awareness and preparation. Eleanor now follows what she calls the safe bathroom routine, a comprehensive approach that has eliminated all her previous risk factors. She drinks water before bed and before standing, ensuring proper hydration. She sits and breathes for 60 seconds before rising, allowing her cardiovascular system to adjust. She keeps showers under 100-degree kmf and limits them to 10 minutes, protecting her from dangerous vasodilation. She uses a footstool for bowel movements, eliminating the need for dangerous straining. Most importantly, Eleanor has installed safety equipment throughout her bathroom: grab bars in multiple locations, non-slip mats, motion sensor lighting, a shower chair for added stability, and a waterproof thermometer to monitor water temperature. These modifications cost less than $200, but provide priceless peace of mind and protection. Your bathroom should be a place of peace and privacy, not danger and fear. These simple changes don't just prevent strokes. They protect your independence, your dignity, and your ability to live life on your own terms. The 4 habits we've discussed today are silently threatening millions of seniors, but now you have the knowledge and tools to protect yourself and your loved ones. If this information has opened your eyes to hidden dangers you never knew existed, please share it with someone you care about. Early awareness and simple prevention strategies can mean the difference between a life-threatening emergency and continued independence. Don't wait for a wake-up call like Eleanor's. Start implementing these safety measures today. Does this sound familiar? Have you experienced any of these warning signs? Your awareness and action today could prevent a tragedy tomorrow, preserving not just your health, but your ability to continue living the independent, dignified life you've worked so hard to build.